Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Shackle 5858. I am Amish Shackle. Foreign news have been reported by American, European, Asian, African, Australian news channels and the news agencies. So please let's go to the headlines.
ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, the breaking news right here in the bombshell arrest in the Jeffrey Epstein case. The stunning image tonight, former Prince Andrew in the backseat of a car, driven from a police station after being arrested on his 66th birthday, held for 11 hours. The brother of King Charles, already isolated over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein and allegations of sex assault. Tonight, what they're now investigating when it comes to Andrew. King Charles tonight releasing a statement, and we'll have it. James Longman standing by live in London. Also breaking, there are tornado warnings right now as we come on the air, tracking severe storms and devastating fires across multiple states at this hour. Then tomorrow, the rain, the snow from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia, New York to Boston. And then this potential nor'easter that could hit this weekend. Lee Goldberg has it all. He has the forecast. Tonight, news of the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Authorities now squarely focused on two key pieces of evidence, including DNA found in Nancy Guthrie's home and what we've learned. Aaron Katersky standing by. The urgent manhunt right now, a suspect accused of stealing an ambulance and then ramming it into a Homeland Security office. Authorities believe that pouring gasoline all around. Tonight, just in, President Trump's new ultimatum to Iran, saying agree to a nuclear deal or, quote, bad things will happen. And tonight here, what ABC News has now learned, what President Trump is considering when it comes to possible U.S. military action against Iran. Ian Panel with late reporting tonight. A JetBlue flight making an emergency landing, passengers racing to get off the plane on slides. Tonight here, look at this, the remarkable discovery, a new species of dinosaur, where it was found and how large it was. And late today, winning the gold, the U.S. women's hockey team beating Canada. And we'll go right to Italy.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Questioning Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
We're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling.
How the royal family is responding. Canada's rise in extortion, particularly targeting South Asians.
The message to criminals, we're going to make your life miserable.
Ottawa's new strategy to combat the crisis. Alberta's premier takes aim at immigration, the problems she claims it's causing, and her potential solutions. Plus, another hair-raising hockey match ends in overtime. The Canadian women's crushing loss to the U.S.
Global National with Donna Friesen.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. He has been stripped of his royal titles, evicted from his home on the grounds of Windsor Castle, and today the former Prince Andrew was arrested by the police. He spent hours in custody, suspected of misconduct in public office because of his close association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Is that all? Good evening, everyone. A new report claims that video compiled by the Obama Foundation shows that the former president wept in front of staffers after Donald Trump won the presidency. Sources say President Obama was worried about the future of his country. You know, Kenya. Body cam footage revealed dozens of shirtless, blindfolded, college-age men covered in food in a University of Iowa frat basement. It was initially thought to be hazing, but it turns out it was just an audition to be one of Don Lemon's assistants. They Thanks to all the Epstein allegations, Prince Andrew has finally been arrested. Officers were told not to handcuff him because that would just make him horny. They were also told not to pat him down because that would make him horny. They were also told him not to give him a cavity search because that would just make him horny. Weird. Everything makes him horny. A new video is playing on Los Angeles buses asking riders not to smoke, drink, or poop on the bus. That way you don't disturb those around you who are masturbating.
Pick your lane.
Tuesday on MS Now, Jasmine Crockett said a Latina woman hid under a desk because she thought her security guard was an ICE agent. Is she still there? Asked one man. And is she fat? Yesterday, President Trump announced that since he retook office, 500,000 Black Americans have rejoined the workforce. And more importantly, one hasn't. 67-year-old Madonna posed topless with her 29-year-old boyfriend. There were no survivors. And finally on Tuesday, Jesse Jackson passed away. Joe Biden paid his respects, posting this message, R.I.P., Mr. October.
Oh, the funny part is they waited for me to laugh.
All right. So what's the first thing Democrats do once they're elected into office, besides move out of their parents' house? Well, right after the swearing-in ceremony ends, the hand slips off the Bible or the Quran and goes straight into your pocket. And everyone who worked hard and created wealth gets...
Hello, this is Sky News. These are your latest headlines. The first royal to be arrested in nearly 400 years, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, pictured leaving police custody after being questioned over suspicion of misconduct in public office. The former prince was detained yesterday morning when police visited him at his new home on the Sandringham estate.
What's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
In an unprecedented statement about his younger brother, the king said the police will have his wholehearted support and cooperation, and the law must, of course, take its course. The arrest has nothing to do with accusations of sexual impropriety, but the family and friends of Virginia Giuffre have hailed the former prince's arrest as a monumental moment.
It feels like this surreal moment, a piece of justice that like Virginia has been fighting for this entire time.
Hello, a very good morning to you. It's the first time in modern history that a member of the royal family has been taken into police custody. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested yesterday morning at his new home on the Sandringham estate on his 66th birthday, with searches also carried out at his former home in Windsor. It's understood the king was not informed of the arrest in advance, but he has thrown his support behind the police, saying clearly the law must take its course. Andrew left police custody, a photographer capturing this quite extraordinary image of the former prince in the back of a car. He was questioned at Aylsham police station, around an hour away from his home at Sandringham. In a statement, the Thames Valley Police said the arrested man has now been released under investigation. We can also confirm that our searches in Norfolk have now concluded. Our royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills reports.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor photographed in the back of a car leaving a police station in Norfolk, as Thames Valley Police confirmed that a man arrested in his 60s had been released under investigation.
The unmarked police cars were seen on the Sandringham estate with no advance warning for the king or the wider palace that his brother was going to be arrested. Thames Valley Police then releasing their statement confirming they were questioning a man in his 60s and searching properties in Norfolk and Berkshire. Not naming him, but it was clear it was Andrew on the day he marks his 66th birthday. The first senior royal in modern history to be arrested, questioned on suspicion of misconduct in public office. It comes after police had been looking at emails from the latest Epstein files.
Wednesday, March 4 on ABC and ABC iView. Today, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor released after being arrested and questioned on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Hopes fade for an 85-year-old abducted from his Sydney home last week after police raid a property they believe the captors used.
We have grave concerns for his safety, but we won't give up trying to find him along.
Donald Trump tells the inaugural meeting of his Board of Peace the US will provide an extra $10 billion to rebuild Gaza. And the youngest member of Australia's Winter Olympics team qualifies for the free ski halfpipe final. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Ros Childs. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office in the wake of the latest release of the Epstein files. Police are searching royal properties in Berkshire and Norfolk, which includes the Royal Lodge at Windsor. It's the first time in nearly 400 years that a senior member of the royal family has been arrested.
In the early morning, a convoy of unmarked police cars approached Sandringham Estate in Norfolk. The former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is arrested as police search two royal properties.
I think he's got to answer his accusers. You know, he shouldn't be hiding behind the royal family.
Thames Valley Police took him in for questioning over allegations he shared confidential government information with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein while trade envoy between 2001 and 2011. These emails came to light in the latest drop of the Epstein files. Neither the king or palace had been warned ahead of the arrest, which took place on Andrew's 66th birthday.
About time too, yes. And I'm glad he's been taken out of Norfolk.
My biggest thing with what's going on is the sadness and the disappointment the Queen must have felt because this was all going on before she died.
This investigation doesn't relate to accusations made by the late Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who claimed Epstein had trafficked her to the UK as a 17-year-old, where she was forced to have sex with Andrew, an allegation he denies. The arrest of Andrew
Asia First.
Good Friday morning, I'm Julie Yu. We begin with our coverage of the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the first senior royal to be detained in modern British history. And this is on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He has since been released under investigation after 12 hours in custody and is seen here reclining in the backseat of a car as he left the police station. Officials are assessing a complaint over the alleged sharing of confidential material by the former prince, the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
And I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exaggerated. It's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame.
Donald Trump responds to the arrest as the U.S. Justice Department's release of the Epstein files sets up global repercussions with a criminal charge against another high-profile figure and investigations in at least 3 other countries besides the UK.
I'm Arnold Gay. President Trump also saying he will decide on Iran within the next 10 days, just as he presides over the inaugural meeting of his controversial Board of Peace. He's due to hold bilateral talks with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto today, with expectations both sides will sign a final trade agreement. Plus, North Korea's highest decision-making body gathers close attention on whether leader Kim Jong-un's daughter, Ju-ae, receives an official post amid increasing speculation she's being groomed to succeed.
Sarah Hadi, India is hosting an AI summit in the capital, New Delhi, and it's hoping to get global participants to sign a declaration today, one that focuses on using artificial intelligence to solve real-world problems. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitching his country as a key player, saying the aim is to build the technology at home while deploying it worldwide. And also coming up later this hour, the story of a tiny primate that's winning hearts on social media. But first, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the brother of King Charles, has been released from police custody after he was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
The former prince was seen leaving a police station late last night in a car. He spent his 66th birthday being
Africa News. The news. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has signed into law an amended electoral act that critics warn may weaken safeguards ahead of next year's presidential election. Tinubu says the changes are intended to strengthen electoral processes and provide greater clarity in the conduction of polls. But the opposition People's Democratic Party has described the signing of the bill as an existential threat to democracy. Together with a cross-section of civil society, they're unhappy about the removal of a clause mandating the real-time electronic transmission of election results. In December, the House of Representatives passed a version of the bill saying results should be sent in real time from polling stations to the Independent National Electoral Commission. But the Senate rejected the clause, retaining a 2022 provision that sees results transmitted first to collation centres. It later amended its decision, making electronic transmission optional, with a caveat that it would revert to paper confirmation of results when internet connectivity failed. Critics warn this could weaken safeguards meant to protect the credibility of elections. In this classroom in southern Malawi, children are sitting in rows on the floor as a health worker moves among them, administering an oral vaccine that will protect them against polio. They are some of the 1.3 million children that are being vaccinated in a new campaign that got underway on Wednesday. It comes following the detection of a new polio case in late January and is another reminder that the world still hasn't managed to eradicate this ancient disease. The outbreak in Malawi is linked to a vaccine-derived type 2 poliovirus detected in the environment and an unvaccinated 7-year-old child. These strains of poliovirus emerge in communities with low immunization rates and can cause outbreaks in areas free of wild polio. Polio is a highly contagious infectious disease which attacks the nervous system and can lead to permanent paralysis or death, primarily in children under 5. It spreads through feces and contaminated water in food, and while there's no cure, it's entirely preventable through vaccination.
Police in 16 African countries have arrested 651 people in recent weeks, breaking up a major cybercrime network that extorted millions of dollars from victims Interpol announced Thursday the 8-week operation dismantled a network that swindled more than $45 million from hundreds, possibly thousands of victims, most of them in Africa, said the International Police Agency. The online frauds ranged from high-yield investment scams, mobile money fraud, and fraudulent mobile loan applications, it said. Investigators also seized 2,341 devices and shut down 1,442 malicious IPs, domains, and servers used to carry out these scams, according to Interpol. The raids were carried out in December and January. The countries involved in the operation were Angola, Benin, Cameroon, Chad, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Rwanda, Senegal, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe.
The International Monetary Fund has approved about $91 million in funding for Niger, which includes support for climate resilience and sustainable development. Following the latest review of its programs in the country.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I hope you will come again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.